The mics are blood clot open. Check.
Select accent for the podcast.
Calvin always late.
What's that?
Welcome to the Kenya Decides version of The Mics Are Open, episode 171. We are, rather.
Okay.
I was just channeling my inner Jeff Kwenagi. And this is the Kenya Decides edition. Now,
Guys are switching it off right now. This is not the mic.
my
Not
name's
today.
Money.
Oh, Andy Young.
Ashley,
Neville, Wagwan.
you're
Votes.
back.
Can I just say I'm glad the election is over?
Same, honestly speaking.
Yeah, all those threats or all those excuses that you could see the clients would tell you, after elections,
After
we'll see
election.
if
Yeah,
it
we'll
work
decide,
out.
yeah.
I'm one of them.
Now, as things stand right now, at this precise moment of recording the podcast, we have no idea who's the president of Kenya.
And
Well,
it's good
actually,
like that.
the next president of Kenya. And I think that actually puts us in a good position.
It does.
Because at this precise moment, either we're going to sound very profound or we're going to sound
this
very
is gonna
dumb.
go bad.
I think, either way, we're going to be good. The views are going to be up. The streams
It's
are going
what
to be
there
up.
is.
We're going to be good.
Let me tell you. So I worked on election day, right? We worked on
Damn,
election
the
day, right?
ghetto.
Yeah. Wow.
you didn't work.
Nigga, you just go back the other day.
Trace, you know what we do? Yeah, you know what we
So
do.
at Homeboys Radio, the responsible broadcasters.
Wow.
Tell them, G.
So we
Is
had
it responsible, really?
I worked. We started the show at 7, right? On the way to work, I drove past Westlands Primary, forgetting that it's a polling station.
Yeah.
Do you know my heart was warmed to see those queues going down the street
roads.
at 7 o'clock? Because meaning that it's important for someone to get out of their bed. Like, bro, I get paid to get out of bed. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how hard that shit is?
No one's paying you to
For
go
free.
vote at 7 in the morning.
But to get out of your bed at like 5 a.m., man. That's
To make it.
diligence, man.
Yeah. But I've been seeing a lot of people saying you'd rather go in the afternoon because the queues are less. There are barely any people. People go in the morning so that they don't find queues, but in the evening
I think it really depends also with the polling, the polling
different
station.
stations?
Yeah, because there's some stations where it's busier in the afternoons,
Fact.
stations where it's busy in the morning. So yeah,
Man,
Comme
let
ça,
me-
comme
Also your
ça.
name, your last name matters, right? Like I hear
Oh yeah,
the
the alphabet.
Do you have like a good
Z,
name?
Yeah.
Y's rarely
Like,
find
say
lines.
if your name was
Yeah.
Xavier,
You're good.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
You can go whatever time.
Also, do you work for X-Men?
But if your name was Onyango,
Oh, it takes the
you
whole
were in the
day.
queue for a long
You
time.
need to be there at 3:30.
Oh man. But yeah, so
Wow.
it's done. Apparently, and I throw this out there to you guys, because you guys are like closer to Gen Z than I am. Apparently, Gen Z did not care about this election.
Tumeshiba.
They did not
Go to
show
the next one.
they went to do you know what was interesting? And this is a theory I have. Most of the Gen Zs and maybe millennials who are excited about voting and even took content, the TikToks and get ready with me, the voting experience and all that. My theory is maybe these are first time voters.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I voted,
felt
bruv,
exciting.
I was those guys 6 a.m. in the morning.
right,
I was
right.
one of them guys, And I remember how excited I was, like, this is my civic duty, my democratic right, and all that. Yeah, but things
Yeah,
change.
but no,
Here you are.
you could build
Yeah,
something
yeah.
because I was looking at some of those polling stations. They're not really Instagrammable.
No, they're
The
not.
aesthetics
It's
are
not
not
good
there.
content.
The aesthetic is not that nice.
Exactly. I was looking back at elections from the States, and I was looking how even influencers and TikTokers are doing their thing. Yo, there's aesthetic there. Even the polling clerk can hold the camera for you to do a 360 and dance.
A 360?
Yeah, and dance at the polling station. But in
You're not
Kenya,
doing the
man,
most.
Did you see that guy who turned up to vote and he just had a towel on?
Yeah.
Oh,
can we
yeah.
just say those are the biggest losers this election.
The cloud chasers.
Githeri man?
Githeri man.
Yeah.
Bread man, wow.
Oh no!
So creative.
But the one person who actually made like a not a comeback of the Githeri man, but let's say he made a new won this year was the one who was just like sina la kusema. What did
Oh
they
yeah,
say?
sina maono.
Sina maoni.
I want to use one
The
name,
guy in the hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
With the
chilling.
interviewer.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's an honest guy. He was just about his opinion on
don't
the
have no
issues.
opinion.
Like I have no opinion.
And funny enough, he's the one who blew up because everybody has been using it as like
Yeah.
a meme now.
When it's generic and original.
Yes.
It works.
Yeah, cloud
Look at
chasers,
us.
mazedem.
Jesus, mama.
Mekula L.
But I mean, it does slightly concern me that apparently, because according to the time of us recording, the turnout was like 60-something%. It does slightly concern me that that young change makers weren't bothered about voting, like because that voter apathy. I mean, 64% is it's above 50, but
Yeah,
it's like
it's not good.
The voter apathy is worrying.
No, that's true. I mean, a lot of my friends I saw had gone to vote, but them a little bit younger than me, so it might be what you're talking about. But I saw something that kind of explains why a lot of people didn't go and vote. Someone comes to and says, this guy talking here on Citizen, speaking about facts, in 2013, most of us were watching and hearing promises of free laptops, mega stadiums, better infrastructure, and 10 years later, nothing. So why is this older generation shocked that the youth have refused to vote?
Okay, so we didn't vote because of laptops.
Yeah, and the stadia.
The latest edition. The new ones are coming now. Yeah.
No, I mean,
Do the thing.
I get that. And I mean, were there any crazy promises this time around? I don't think there were. I mean, Baba promised 6K if you're
Yeah, we
unemployed.
need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of promises out here, but personally speaking, when you talk about that is also a factor. Yes, I agree with that. What that tweet said. Yes, there were some things that we were told, stadiums and whatnot, that didn't come into fruition. But also, I don't think for as long as I've been alive, like the elections have always been like not the cleanest of things.
Right,
that have,
right,
like,
right.
When it's like
They've
for me,
they've been flawed.
yes,
Yeah.
for me,
I mean, never. Let's be honest. The
Trying
last,
to, you know,
say it.
but the last election was annulled.
That's true, yeah.
Yes, we don't have to be about the bush with that one.
Exactly. I was having the
You
same
know.
conversation with my mom and asking and telling how we were conversing and were saying like even being the head of the electoral commission, I don't think that's a job I covet.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all pressures are on,
On you, yeah.
Like you
and
have
it's getting
to,
worse.
the pressures are getting worse. So it's a situation like that. So for me personally, not going to the ballot, it's like I don't think the system has proved enough to me
Yeah.
for me to go out there. For me, I feel as if even though I wake up 4 a.m, my vote might just disappear somewhere in the air, not being counted or being added in whatever way,
But Chebukati has got the maddest job security though.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah,
job
you
that
have
no
to.
one wants.
Yeah.
I never want that job.
Yeah.
There's nobody at school like,
too much.
when I grow up, I want to be the head of the IEBC.
No.
And to the issue, the previous elections, or election rather, people saw how guys in that office or
Right.
occupying that position were treated, because
Right.
Yeah.
some guys went missing, others
True,
ended
true,
up
true.
dead and all that.
Others have
So
to go to another country.
Yeah.
yeah, you
Right.
know. So
Crazy.
what does that say about our electoral process?
So basically, what we're saying is that I guess whoever becomes president or whoever is president, depending on what time announcements are made when this podcast goes out, just know that you have a very serious job in trying to get the youth them back engaged with politics.
Yes.
Definitely.
Or back engaged in the process, because if Generation Z did not turn out, and there's a whole new generation coming up behind them who probably won't turn out. So you guys need to do something, like maybe put a little TikTok booth in the
Make
Wow.
elections
Oh
sexy
yeah,
again.
let's make elections
Yeah.
sexy again.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the campaign.
let's
Make
make
election
it
sexy
grabbable.
again.
Yeah, all you need is a few influencers here or there.
Everyone shows up.
Yeah.
I saw influencers, Instagram influencers, voting in the election, and I was like, oh, so you do own boots and regular clothes? You do look normal.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so for real. But yo,
Wow.
fam, this podcast is about to be mad, bruh. Speaking about politics, Donald Trump, bruv. Let me fill you, if you're not following that story, Donald Trump's house or his golf course has been raided, fam. bro, like, you know, most US presidents, I'm older, let me go back. George Bush, retired, went to go and live on his ranch in Texas. Bill Clinton, retired happy after his happy
Very.
ending.
Many
Plenty.
Retired happy. Went, supported his wife in her bid, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Barack Obama making documentaries about the
Playlist.
wonderful
Giving playlists, you know.
Not out here listening to Thames. Last.
Hey, Thames,
Fam, Donald Trump is being raided by the Fed
That's wild.
while announcing, I'm gonna run again. do you guys
they're gonna pick him again.
do you guys honestly think, and this is something that Andy mentioned last week that I've been thinking about for the last week, do you think that we're witnessing the fall of America as the
Yeah.
last great empire?
I mean,
Slowly.
I feel as if it's like an energy out there. We're witnessing the fall of Manchester United as I'm saying. But it's all right. I agree with you, G, when I think about it, like, because America used to be that place we
Batman.
all, it's like greener pastures place.
Yeah.
All our parents in the other generations who are, they go out there to look for opportunities. And then comes along this America, which is like GTA. Like it's like every single day you hear a new thing,
Like, I feel like Putin and the president of China like have conversations on Friday, like they zoom and like, what will these guys do?
I swear,
There's always something new.
Yeah,
Guys,
it's
And you know the dangerous thing about it is,
Yeah.
I think the first country to use a nuclear weapon in the future is going to be America.
yeah.
Because I kind
To
of
prove.
I think
Yeah.
they're gonna be so like marginalized and like you know that guy who's always been now. He used to be the big boy.
Yes.
Now he's falling off.
Yeah.
he
And
wants
has
to
do
prove
Billy
something
Badass.
crazy.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
man.
that situation is like, America is one of those states in a. Let me use this analogy. Like in a playground, there's a couple of bullies in the playground, right? So America happens to be one of those potential bullies, right? And they've bullied their way around some things.
Yes.
But now when the kids who are bullied now, they grow up, they become aware, they know that, I can stand up for myself and be reliant and not take this anymore.
Yeah.
Then this guy is backed in a corner, and when every kid in the bullies are not more than the guys who are being bullied.
Right.
So the guys who are being bullied, turn up against you, then there's nothing else you can do. You'll have to resort to some crazy ass measure. So
Yeah.
hopefully
I
it doesn't
don't know,
get
man.
to
I don't
nuclear
know.
war.
Or you wait for a spider to bite you.
Wow. Okay, Marvel.
For real, man.
Yeah, that's the easiest one.
But I feel like it's
Yeah.
always been a mess. People just don't realize it until they go to the actual country, right?
Yeah.
Like it's always
Shit, whole country.
yeah.
Always wanted to say that.
Because nobody who's ever gone to America
Gee, we are trying to
necessarily
get
wants
visas,
to
man.
stay there.
We're trying to- the ambassador is
sponsor us
working.
and we might.
But
Wait
we-
for 2024, honey.
Yeah, I know the waiting line is long. But
Right?
you said that about countries, and I'm like, whoever gave I would love Kenya to have the Ghana package, because Ghana has this. Like
Ghana.
when you say Ghana, to Americans it's like going back to Africa.
Right.
It's this new sexy country in Africa. We know South Africa. We might know Kenya because of their runners, but we've never heard of this Ghana. Because recently I saw a lot of artists, Kendrick Lamar,
Yep.
they went back there.
But-
I hear there's a new festival that
But
is
there's a-
supposed to bring.
But there's a reason for that though.
What?
Y'all can't have that, and you'll never have it. Kenya will never have that.
We can get that
You
sexiness
can't.
package.
What
you
is
can't.
it?
We have runners.
It's historical. It's because of the slavery. It's because of, like, end of the day, the majority of slaves
Wow.
who went to America.
That's why G-Man is on the pod.
The majority.
Educate
No,
us.
but
Yeah.
Deep inside.
Let's
the
go.
majority of slaves who went to America and the Caribbean came from West Africa. Remember that song that Dave has called Black? That whole region
Yeah.
was called the Slave Coast.
Oh,
So
yeah.
from Benin, Senegal, Nigeria,
The Western Coast.
Ghana, those places. That's where the guys came from over there, loaded up slaves, took over there. So when, like, for example, when I did it's called a origin test or DNA test. It was like, you are 65% Nigerian, 25%
Word?
Ghanaian,
Oh, for
10%
real?
Malian, a little bit Senegalese, so that's why when these the guys come from America, they come to Ghana, because when you go to Ghana now, you have
The
the point of no return. You have another one in Senegal as well, where I went there, and it's like where the slaves actually were kept.
Yeah.
And bro, let me tell you, I always heard people say, when you go to these places where the slaves were kept, you feel this, you feel this energy, and I'm like, these niggas are just trying to be deep. Like when someone says, when you watch the sunrise in Mombasa, your soul will
Fake deep.
I genuinely thought guys were just being fake deep. So, I'm in Accra. It's February. I celebrate my birthday a couple years ago. A pal of mine was there from Atlanta as well. So, let's go to the slave place. Hour and a half, 2 hours out of Accra. So we get there and we're going on the tour. And they're taking you to the places where the female slaves were held, the male slaves were held. They tell you how even the governor who ran the castle, his wife was back in the UK, so he used to choose from the slave women who he's gonna sleep with, and how you see the rooms where the bad slaves were kept, where they just throw you in this room, brock you up, and leave you to die.
Yeah.
And then to show you like just the stench of that place, and the fact that these guys had a church on top of where the slaves were being held. So you're praising your God on a Sunday, and underneath in the bowels of the castle, and then there's a small little door that they call the door of no return, and that's where the ships came. And then they loaded guys into that. Bruh, I can tell you there's only one other place on this planet I've been where I felt like that. And that was when I went to the Genocide Museum in Rwanda. Because when you see the magnitude of this castle, and you're like, this castle is just here to ship us to
Wild.
You go through that little place, you go into that ship, you're never gonna see Africa again.
Wow.
And that's why when you look at it, like, as a person who is the descendant of a slave, when I look at my personal biggest achievement in life was coming back to Africa. You get me? I've never even spoken on that.
Yeah.
That's why, like, even that Yemi Alade song, I play it every day I play out, because I don't think people who live on the continent can understand the feeling of coming back to the continent.
True.
Because when you're walking into a place where, fam, everyone looks like me. Everyone looks like me. I'm not walking down the street and seeing my little brethren who's a black guy who lives there or a chick who lives there surrounded by white people.
Yeah.
Living in Jamaica, coming to Kenya was the first place I ever experienced feeling like I'm part of a majority. So that's why you have that connection between Ghana, Nigeria, and the rest of the world. On this side of the continent, it was more to do with Oman and this side of the Arabic slave trade. You know?
Yeah.
And that's why I get the big bucks.
This is that point you ask your parent for permission to go out. They start telling you about a lecture of how money is not fixed on trees.
You know when I was your age.
When I was your age.
Oh, man.
I walked all the way to school. There was no rides.
I was always number one.
We love it. We love it.
But
I'm here for
also, history is the one subject at school I could not fail.
Yeah.
I
There's a
mean,
reason
what
why.
was that subject for you that you couldn't fail?
I think it has to be history. History was just clean sweep everything, and geography too. You know, What
about you,
I think mine was, funny enough, history as well, and sociology.
Andy?
Damn, I'd say Syria and geography.
Oh yes,
Okay.
Y'all are busy
Yes,
already.
Syria was able to connect Abu.
Yeah, you gotta know the Bible.
It's crazy.
The
though,
Bible
man.
on the streets too, huh?
By the way, before we move on, a quick advert here. Make sure you check out the brand new feature that we have on the channel. It's called The Wild Card, with the annoying Eric Njiru and Venant every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
You'll give Venant something?
Yeah, Venant's got. You know, pretty soon Venant will be like, I don't have time for you guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
You know. So Venant and Eric every Wednesday around about 3 o'clock. It's actually evolving. I'm loving the way it's evolving, and they're doing their thing. And it's called the Wild Card, and it's all matters to do with Fantasy Premier League. So
I need
pick
to
up those
join.
guys.
I need to join and win that money.
Bro, do you know? By the way,
Yeah.
the Good Company League is like, we launched it like what, a month ago, 3 weeks ago. It's got over 9,000
Yeah.
people in it.
Really?
That's
To win me some
crazy.
big bucks.
9,000
I left it
people.
at
For the
6,000
price, of
actually.
course.
What's the prize?
50,000.
I-
Me, I'm even thinking of doubling it, bro.
I knew it. I'm
No.
inside.
No.
And everyone here is eligible.
Can we?
We're eligible to.
Anybody who wins,
Okay.
wins.
Oh, really?
Why do you think I'm playing? I want to win. Yo,
The
let me tell
return on
you.
investment.
Remember, it's regulated by the Premier League.
Yeah.
If I
Imagine.
but if I happen to win that 100K, it's not me who's choosing me.
Valid.
It's like the points are there for everyone.
Now it's 100K.
Like
Let's
Form
go.
34.
No,
Let's
it's-
go.
At the moment it's 50K, but I kind of think I've heard a little whisper that once guys
Nice.
hit 10,000 views a week on that
it-
program, it might just go up
Goes
to
up.
100.
So
So tell your
incentive.
friends, by the way, tell your
Nice.
friends to watch it, because apparently once they're hitting 10K views a week, the prices will go up to
I might just
100K.
learn how to play. I mean,
Some balls.
Man, Fantasy Premier League is the most heartbreaking thing, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Actually, I
heartbreaking.
don't know if you want part of
Yeah.
that.
am I
My
sure
shows-
I'm
Yeah,
already
the-
being heartbroken?
This,
I'm good.
this other one, yeah. You don't want more.
Tosha, yeah.
Speaking about heartbreak,
Aye.
Hey,
Last,
give you on.
last.
Let's go.
Let's
Everybody
go.
got your breakfast.
Let's go.
you know, I must say, honestly, for the
Is
last
this child?
you know, I need to speak to camera for a bit. For the last 3 months, everyone seems to think that I'm heartbroken because I'm posting all this shit on IG. I'm not heartbroken, okay? I just want to confirm that I'm just getting to that point in my life where words mean a lot to me. Yeah, I'm not heartbroken. But
He said
apart
it
from
with
that,
a voice like he's about to cry. I'm not heartbroken.
fam, Stefflon, Don, and Burna Boy.
Yo, she took a
What
piss.
was that?
She's this is the thing, and I think we've talked about this before. Being humane when you've broken up with someone. Also, why are you sharing your business out there like
Wait, what's
that?
going on? What's going on?
So,
Bruh.
do you want to do it? Do it
I'll tell you. Let me read it exactly.
verbatim.
Verbatim. Stefflon Don, because I spoke about it on the radio, so I have it in my notes, right? Stefflon Don said, and I quote, dum, bum, bum. So I didn't want to mention this before, but I gotta say it. Y'all African giant is an impotent man. I left his ass because he couldn't give me a baby. And Burna Boy replied, okay, yes, I'm an impotent gorilla, but I've got money, so.
That's the biggest
Wait,
fuck
like,
you
this
I've
is
ever
online?
heard. Yes, on stories.
On our Insta stories. On Saturday.
This is rollout. This is.
You think so?
You think
This
so?
is
For
rollout
who?
Steph.
for both of them. I
Okay,
think
now
Burna has
Damini
already
is
launched.
one helps out the other. Cause since when has Teflon done this, bro?
But
this is Burna.
no.
This is Burna's bag.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, end of the
I
day,
wouldn't
like,
put it past a rollout.
like it feels like it could be something like that.
She has a rhythm
bro-
she dropped the other day.
Bro,
Yeah.
I've forgotten the
that
name.
rhythm, the dancehall
Bounce.
rhythm.
Yeah, bounce.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bounce.
Yeah,
Sweet
but
bounce.
but
Yeah,
that tune is a very throwaway tune. Eh?
exactly. So you'd probably resort to something like this to try get
No,
some.
I understand, and plus
push.
the whole rhythm as well with like cranium and the rest of them on it.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is, at the end of the day, like, fam, that's a bit close. Like,
Whoa.
Too
as in,
close.
like, all right, I understand that people have issues in relationships, and I understand that people, you know, break up and stuff. But fam, impotence is a
It's a
very,
big
very
thing.
like.
It's-
Everything is out of the bag,
'cause
though.
he said that she said because he couldn't give her a baby, right? Now, and I shared the story on the radio as well. I'm not scared to share the story. Ella, my niece, who I always talk about, whose name titled on me, is a kid who was conceived.
Via surrogates.
What's that? These
IVF.
Oh, IVF.
Ah, okay.
And I know that her parents tried for kids for so long. I'm trying to say. So Ella and London are literally twins. but they're born like 2 years apart because the eggs were used at different times, right?
Okay.
Fam, I have seen firsthand what women and what men go through when they want a child and can't have one. Bruh, it's not a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not actually a joke. Like, I always joke and say, Ella's an expensive baby, man. Over 5M.
Literally. Yeah. Yeah.
In there, just trying to, over $50,000 of treatment.
It's expensive. It's painful. It's emotionally draining. I've had friends of my parents who have gone through it as
Right.
well, and that it makes and breaks relationships. Even
if the picnic, even when the kids come,
yeah.
it can
Still
fuck
an
up the
issue.
relationship.
Even just like personal, not even necessarily you and your husband or you and your significant others, even your parents, your
Yeah.
friends, like generally. So it's a very sensitive topic. Nobody
Yeah.
should be putting
Like,
your
I-
business
I
out there
just-
like that.
Like even if it's a rollout, it's like, hey, your dick don't work.
Exactly. And and that's how you know.
No excuse
Bro,
is no. It's no longer an excuse now. Even
It's
if you
never
tell me-
valid, bro.
Yeah, it's not a valid
I still
excuse.
smash. Okay, my dick is
I
small.
can
I still
smash.
smash.
Yeah.
Why did you let me
Yeah.
smash if my dick is small?
So right
Why
now
did you
the-
let me
the
smash?
thing for the dick is small or he comes too quick. Those are no longer
Yeah.
excuses.
Why did you let me smash if my dick is small or if I come too
For
quick?
X amount of days.
Exactly.
Years.
You're just
Put
bitter
that
about the
away,
situation, man. You're just bitter
Wow.
about the
10
situation.
hours.
Well, that's the perspective. I mean,
But it's very clear that it's not the best of breakups, as you can tell, because last is definitely about the
you
situation.
think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it's the love of his life, but it can't work.
Yeah.
It's definitely about, because the best
dating an
real life
artist is
situation
tricks.
songs are the best songs.
Valid.
I get that, but I know Burner, right?
Let's call him. Because the last time we did this, you called Chris Martin. So I'm never joking with you.
No, I don't have access to Burner like I used to, right? But I'm saying, like, I know him as a person.
Yeah, he's
and
your,
like,
he's
right?
your friend, yeah.
And I know that end of the day, like last is such a
It's the last.
a non-Burner Boy song. Like, as in his energy is not like, like, I think it's a song he wrote.
If we
Like
pull
he's
up,
usually proud, arrogant,
No,
or
no,
something.
no,
Ama.
but he's
it
not.
has to come from the heart. This is a heartbreak
No, when
song.
it comes to the music.
Well, like, so with Burner, Burner's a music person. Like, if you think about his biggest songs, like, he hasn't really put, like, if you think about some of his biggest songs, he's not really put his emotion into any of his
Yeah.
songs.
True.
Yeah.
Kilometer,
True.
name some Tonight, some of his smashes.
Yeah, one day.
He's never really been
Anybody.
the artist to put.
And that's why I think last has to be really close to his heart. Because when I remember what Burna Boy said about Love Damini album, this is a party. I want to show you what I do on my birthday.
Yeah.
It's a soundtrack to my birthday.
Yeah.
But in between this birthday,
I know me. I is in pain.
heartbreak. So
Vulnerability, yeah.
Because if we pull up
Also,
the lyrics
damn.
for
The sample is he wasn't man enough for.
yeah, wow. Ting, ting, ting. Yeah, chopsticks do the ting.
You get it, don't you?
He wasn't man enough. Wow.
Could have picked any
Full
other
circle.
song.
It's like a roundabout.
But you know what's interesting about that song, Tony Braxton's song?
Yeah.
Women think that song is a song dissing a man. It's actually a song dissing another woman.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't man enough for me, saying like.
So I let him go.
So I let
Toshi
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
of course, women don't hear that.
But for me, when I think about situation like this, because to be honest, one of the few people I follow on Instagram is Steph London. Because damn, that's bumper machine. She's looking nice. But then when I see a situation like this,
Research.
yeah, but anyway, but when I see a situation like this, it really turns me off.
100%.
Yeah, like it makes all that beauty, all that glamour, all that niceness, it
Not
just
there.
it just goes out the
Just
window.
disappears,
It's
yeah.
like an unfollow right now.
Let me ask you guys, what are the things that women do that completely turn you off? Like you completely feel this babe. She got a nice
Damn, you wanna
bunda,
go
she got
there?
a nice
You know-
personality.
Why you wanna go there?
We're going there.
No, I think we touched on that, but we can go there. but also, I think even deeper than that is a relationship in the public eye. Like, for example, it's like, what fears do you have?
Being in a relationship.
Like, you get what I'm trying to say?
Out there, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, you know, we could say, okay, you know, if the person does this, but sometimes we're like, I think like when you look at something like Burner, like, and that situation there, fam, as people who live in the public eye, you'd be like, shit, like that shit, if that can happen to Burner Boy, that happens to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
It's a deal breaker. That's why you have to know who you're dealing with.
And I also think
But
that, like,
you never do.
Nah,
what's
there's
his name?
signs.
You know what?
Yeah. You're both right. You're both right.
You're both right, yeah.
You're both right because
you might see the
we
signs
ignore
late.
the signs or we go like they might change. You know, things
Right, the
could.
Personality, looking nice.
But here's the thing, you know, what's his name? Man's Not Hot.
Michael Dapper.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the thing he did with Julie Adenuga like way back? And he was like, one of the things that he says is that he wished he was one of those guys who was dating way before he became famous. Because it's like now when he's in the public eye, you're always just thinking to yourself, is this person into me?
Genuine.
Why are you with
Yeah.
me?
Or why
Yeah.
why are you with me?
Why are you
know what I'm
with
saying?
me?
Is
Yes.
it genuine?
You
You
know?
know? Yeah.
That's one of the conversations I had with Andy on the Chop Shop pod. Check us out. I was telling Andy, for me, even personally, when I'm talking to someone, if I meet someone for the first time and they don't know what I do,
Yeah.
I'm very reluctant to give them my
yes.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Because my Instagram has like, bam, this is the guy. Check him out now. You know, when we're on WhatsApp, you know, the it's not a lot that you can.
And that's why you need to have two Instagrams.
So for me, that's why when I'm even chatting up someone, when it's I usually want it to be somewhere else. I message, you know, on the text, on something else, phone call and whatnot. But when it comes to IG, and I know we can send each other memes on IG, yes, but baby.
Can I tell you something about women? Or I personally, I will research the man who I'm talking to the T. I will Google you.
She has to be nice.
It's
No, I
true.
don't know what you do.
I will
You're a
Google you.
baddie,
I don't know what you
I might
do.
not go on your LinkedIn because you're gonna see that I've gone on your
Hey,
LinkedIn.
honey, LinkedIn,
But
man.
I'm gonna look, you know, the
Viewed
fine
your
print?
profile.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it so that I know, okay, what does he do? What is he about? Also because it tells you a lot about an individual. Not necessarily because I want your money or anything, or you know, I just want to see what kind of person are you.
But also the issue is, and I'm sure that, you know, at some point we've all experienced, is that when you meet someone and you meet them anonymously, like you said,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, and then the minute they find out who you are,
Yeah.
It
changes
switches up.
up.
Yep.
you know, it's like for example, someone like could say to you, oh, you know what, this is my favorite picture on your Instagram page, and I'm like,
Yeah.
How did you even find
How
that?
did you even go there?
Your account is public. Thank you for letting me know.
No. This I'm trying to say, like,
But I get you. I get you.
in the sense of like, you go from this discussing and having just general
normal.
amazing good vibes to now it's about what you do.
Yeah.
And like I've said on the podcast before, like, I don't want to talk about what
My
I
work.
do.
That extra
Yeah.
stuff.
What the fuck? Like, oh, I see that. Let's say Jay-Z was at Kiss.
Yeah, I see that you had-
Kamene and Obina.
Yeah.
Did he come into your studio? What the
Did you
fuck are
talk to
asking
him?
me?
Yeah.
But then, okay, G, why you mad, bro?
Nah,
'Cause
man, I feel you, G,
I
you know.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but babes also have to know how to work their game when it comes to conversation. You know, like you can test the waters when it comes to conversation, like your profession, you know, your workplace or family. This could be very personal and, you know, a bit
Right.
sensitive to get into. So maybe first times, or even when you pull out your favorite photo of them, I mean, first time you're meeting, yeah, that could come across as a bit weird or
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
But you have to realize that coming up, these are some of the conversations that these people, and it's not just the babes, even
Right.
the mandem, have to have at some point. So I guess maybe, is it a matter of time for you, or
I think
you completely don't
that's-
want to be asked?
I think that's what it is. I think that, like, if you're getting to know someone or someone's getting to know you, fam, at the start of this conversation, I don't want you to get to know G Money.
Yeah.
You get me? I
Yeah.
want you to get to know me
Separate
because I mean, and I think I mentioned it. Well, if I haven't mentioned it, I can mention it now. It's like one of the biggest struggles that I've had recently, like in terms of identity and you know, just my place in this planet, is that you don't want to just always feel like an entity. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like you don't
Like
want
a
to always just
business.
get up every fucking day and feel like an entity. Like it's like, okay, oh, I saw that you had Mayakin in the studio today. It's like, for fuck's sake, like ask me something else.
Yeah, what did you have for
You know what I'm saying?
breakfast?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, something
And-
normal.
And like with time, and I think the key to what Andy said. With time, you begin to learn people.
Yeah.
And you begin to learn each other, and you begin to learn what makes each other tick. I just think at the end of the day, like you said, yeah, women will always research and all of this stuff. It's fine, but just take the time to know the person behind the image, especially if you work in the public, and
Yeah.
even if you don't work in the public eye.
Yeah.
You go meet this person who's in at Milan and they're doing whatever, and you exchange phone numbers and you've researched them or whatever it is, and it turns out that it's Polycarp Igathe. I'm joking. And you've,
Hi, Sakaja. Hi.
No.
do we even know who's won? We're gonna talk about what. But like, and you've done your research. At least take time to learn. There's a song before you jump in. There's a song by a guy called Eric Roberson, and it's called Too Soon. And basically in that song he says, listen, it's too soon. He says, please be patient. I'm learning you, and all I want is for you to learn me too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? We need to learn each other, man. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in my generation also, maybe you have an Instagram account, it's not that popping, you have a few thousand followers, and then here comes along Neville Vibes Ambassador in it, you know.
Trace FM drive
Yeah,
time.
Trace FM, you know.
You know the vibes.
50,
Make
you
it
know,
clear.
60K followers. You're just like, you know, because that has been used as a threshold for some people, you know, to like
Yeah.
cut you off. You're like, hey, above 10K, hey,
We're not
lazima ni cool
doing-
it down, because someone
Exactly.
thinks you have access to too many people,
True.
you know, ABCD, but
Facts,
sometimes
yeah.
it's not the case. Wengine wetu we're just introverts and we have many followers, people follow us, but we're not about that life like that. So I do understand where you come from, G, where you never want to introduce this other side because you're trying to give them the real, you know, first of all. But let me ask you, Ashley, if the follower count is high, is there like a problem these days?
I don't care though. Personally, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't really faze me. It doesn't faze me. Also, if I meet someone who's, I don't know, in the public light like that, I wouldn't want to know them professionally. If I'm interested like that, I'd like to know them individually, because of course we portray a certain kind of personality when we're in the limelight, you know?
Or sometimes
But-
it's just real.
Yeah, I mean, this right here is real.
it's for
But
real.
you know, sometimes you have to put up not even guards, but you have to put up a personality so that you can maintain people. You know, say hi to people, etc. But when you're alone in the house, what do you actually enjoy doing? What do you like? What you know, those nitty gritties.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, even from a friendship point of view, I have a friend. Shout out to Fee, and she knew me when we met each other. But she actually took time to learn me, not me, Ashley, who's on the mics.
I
So she
love
used
it.
to ask me questions, and I'm just like, oh, I love this, you know?
Bana, it's
She's
new,
curious.
yeah.
She's
People don't
curious
get to know
about
it.
my point of view and even things I've talked about on the podcast, but
Yeah.
she still asked. Then eventually she was just like, I actually already knew you, but I just wanted to know who you are personally
Right,
as an
right.
individual. And I was just like, wow, that's like...
Refreshing.
Yeah, it's the best thing you can ever hear. But
That's
from
dope.
Mandem as well,
Normalize.
a lot of Mandem who approach right now, it's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh, I want to marry you. I'm like, you don't know me, sweetheart. I'm crazy.
It's like
Ashley.
and I just think that the whole social media situation, not just for guys and girls in the public eye,
Public
just
eye, yeah.
generally has got us all. It's funny, we're so open, but we're also guarded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? I was speaking to a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine in the UK. Shouting out to Samantha, and she was, you know what she said to me like this week? It's still raw. 2 days ago, she said to me, you know, I hope one day you let your guard down and allow yourself to receive genuine love. I was like, Jesus Christ.
That is hard.
What are you telling me?
It is hard.
What are you telling me?
Did
I actually have a question for
The
you.
walls of China, they're there.
All of
Built
you.
them over years. The work you've been doing.
But that's the danger.
Wait, Ashley, before you ask, yeah, did she crack a nut with pause? No, pun unintended.
You've sat on that chair and you're becoming that guy.
Yeah, I told you guys it's the chair. I've really tried. I've really tried today. I've really tried.
No, she literally said, because I've known her for more than like 15, 20 years. She was like, I just hope you open up and allow yourself to receive genuine love and care. The conversation started because we were on FaceTime.
FaceTime.
And she was like, your skin looks dry. That's what. But you have those.
Wow.
The violence.
Yeah.
No, it was.
I'm that friend.
Because she was glowing and she's like, hey, gee, how come your skin looks so dry? She goes, and then she goes, you're not being taken care of.
Oh, see? Now that's game.
I love
now
that.
That's
I
game.
love that.
That's game.
game.
Not
But
that
can
you
I
saw
say-
you with Otile Brown in studio today. Nah, come on. No, I'm saying now that's how you approach the situation. Like, you're not being taken care of. Like, if a babe told me that, bruh, I'm calling my mom, bro. I'm calling my
I found the one.
It's go time, not being asked, no, you had Mayokun in studio today, we're going for that.
I won't even lie, it threw me mentally. Like,
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, also when you're in the position of always, like, you're always on the go, you're always a leader. It's very rare that someone throws that level of care and attention.
Yeah.
So yeah, big up Sammy, man.
But can I ask, generally for men, is it that men just don't want, when they're wholly loved, is it that they just don't know how to accept that love?
Why are you asking hard questions?
No, what do you mean?
We start. Wait, stop. We say what you call
Therapy is in session.
What you call a bomber club? Boom, the fifth. You are not here to ask hard questions.
No,
We're here
listen.
for a good time. Just a long time.
Masani Chacho, vibes ni mingi.
What are these stories you're coming with?
Mana.
It's because, let me tell you, background. It's because, just.
Let's go. You
Let me
started.
sell myself
Let's
out.
go.
I've been in a thing, and the thing ended because I feel like the person is not able to
Long story short.
take love. Yeah, and it's not the first time I've seen it. I've seen it in several other situationships that I've been in. You love someone wholly, but then it gets to a point where they're kind of pushing you away because they can't accept that love.
Oh my God.
So is it?
Were you on the FaceTime?
Is this what she talked to you about too? Look at
Fam,
you.
let me tell you. No, let's be vulnerable. Let me put it down.
Let's pod.
Let's pod. Fam, this is the exact same conversation that we had. And I think personally, I've cracked a little bit of it. And it's worse in Africa than it is in other places of the world. Men are not used to being loved unconditionally. You get?
Yes.
The only, like most of us, if you think about it, right? Many of us, the only unconditional love we've ever received from a woman is from our moms. Am I lying?
No cap.
Now the thing about it is, that doesn't mean that we haven't had fulfilling relationships with other women, and they may have lasted, they may have not lasted, and they may have been based upon love and stuff. But most of us, it's like we have not had that unconditional, that, let me tell you, it's like, let me give you an example, right? Growing up in the Caribbean, yeah? It's like my aunt, she's my aunt, but she was like 4 or 5 years older than me, right?
Okay.
I knew my aunt loved me. Because she'd be like, she's like, yo, what's that pimple in your face? What's that blackhead mark? And she'd be like, and she's like,
Yeah,
just
babes love
small
popping zits and
things
everything, yeah.
like that, like she'd be like, she's like, oh, you need to put more, just that hands-on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of,
like she's
you know
not
what I'm saying?
afraid, yeah.
I wasn't afraid, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I always say that, like, I never had a problem recognizing love or receiving it, right? But then I think about some of the other relationships I've had where it's almost been a battle,
Yeah.
It's in a battle of, can you do this? Or why have you done this? Like, I can give you an example, like, and I'm sure many men can relate to this. I was dating a chick once whom, it'd be Saturday afternoon. What do men do on Saturday? You watch football.
Watch football, yeah.
And then you're in the house, right?
Yeah.
And it's an upstairs house, right? You're downstairs watching football, and she's like, "Can you come upstairs?" I'm like, why? Why did you even come if you're gonna spend all the time downstairs watching football? I'm here.
My presence is enough.
I don't know, but the point I'm making is it's emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
right? It's like end of the day, like for example, sometimes just your presence
Matters.
is all. A man will tell you this, right? Sometimes your presence is all that is necessary. We don't need to chop it up about how the week was or the fact that you're here.
Is enough.
Everything to me at this point.
Yep.
My God, you
Yep.
could be
Wow. Even the intonation.
Right. Hey.
It's got real deep. Welcome
baridi in
welcome to the
Nairobi.
pod.
Now, welcome to the Mike's Open,
Yeah, exactly.
episode 171. But sometimes the fact that you're here is more than enough. It's pure, it's genuine. You get me?
Yeah.
So, back to the original conversation. Why do many men have a problem receiving love in that particular way? It's because love towards them has always been so conditional. It's been along the lines of what you can provide, of what you can do, of what. So, end of the day,
Can I ask?
I'm hurting right here.
I'm
man.
sorry. Can
My
I
man was in
ask?
the middle of pouring out his heart.
Is there some ego aspect to it? Is there ego involved? Is it that you don't want to be that
No,
vulnerable?
I think let the conversation go around and then maybe we'll see
I
what's
think it's more
been left.
vulnerability more than, like you're just, like I would say for myself, when you experience that, let me call it first love kind of thing. You might call it first love for yourself because you might have experienced something in that love that maybe you hadn't experienced
Before.
somewhere else. Because kuna wase wengine yenye, shout out some of you know how to love someone, yani proper, like that. Now you all have spoiled that thing for the text of have you eaten. That was such a
Yeah.
lovely text.
Yeah.
Sahi
Yeah.
imeharibiwa. Now you send someone have you
Like
eaten,
a
they're
simp.
thinking you're trying to get a vote from them, it's a lot of many things, so it's all over the place, but
Wow.
but it's true, man.
It's true.
So small acts like that used to, but now, with social media and other things, love has been on my birthday. You have to blindfold me. Outside there has to be a new BMW or whatnot,
Yeah.
or ABCD.
Yeah.
But for people who haven't fallen into those traps
Right.
and they know how to love someone, I'm sure when you give it to someone, and I would maybe kind of speak for that person, maybe you've given them the loving and they haven't received it, is because hatujaipokea before, so it's
You
new
don't know
to
how
us.
to
So
be
you're
loved.
like, damn, is it for real? Should I now give them my love and then I find out they're not for real? Nah, I don't
You're not
want
doing
that.
it.
You're always hedging your bets.
Yeah, you're like, yes, I want to show them love. Yes, I'm capable of loving someone, but I'm scared to actually show it back, and then they start, running away from me.
Because
That's
you're also,
ABCD.
like women will always say, and men may not admit it, but we do handle breakups worse than women. Like many men handle breakups worse than women.
Nah,
But y'all
I
act
doubt.
cool,
nah,
man.
G.
Y'all act cool.
You said the right word.
I doubt, bro.
No, it's true.
No,
It's
before
I
the word
doubt.
cool, what have you said?
Let me
Y'all
tell
act
you.
cool.
Let
I
me
doubt.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yes, act.
That's
Nah.
the as
That's
long as on
amazing.
my Instagram I'm
You
popping
act
more way.
cool. Yeah.
But what am I doing?
I'll be like, I'll tell you it's over, and you're like, okay.
It's okay. But then in the car, Machozi,
Yeah,
cry me a
crying.
river, JT. No, bro, let
Men
me
need
tell
to
you.
learn how to fight for some things.
No, guys, what the?
Unshackle me, unshackle me.
What?
Unshackle me.
I'm triggering this man.
Nah, fight for what?
We're not.
We're not fighters, we're lovers over here, bro. I'm not gonna fight.
me tell you. Let me tell you.
freestyle.
Calling my mom.
Let me tell
This
you.
was freestyle.
This was freestyle. Let me tell you. Every man, whether you're watching this podcast for the first time, the last time, or the in-between time, and I'm looking at the camera when I say this, right? Every man out there who's ever dated, who's ever fallen in love, has chopped a breakfast that he couldn't manage. 100% in the man. And let me tell you, if it happens early in your life,
The
and
better.
I know
The better.
women are gonna say, men are using trauma and they can't get over it.
That's the conversation.
That's what it is. Men are holding on to. Women will always say that men are holding on to this trauma from the first girl who broke their heart. And think about it. But if you break your leg if you break your leg and you go to the doctor or to the hospital, see, you want to get your leg fixed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You get better.
Can you imagine if you went to the doctor's like, oh, because you broke your leg last week.
We're not
you
here.
you want to come here and fix it.
Again.
Go back to when you broke your leg.
And break it.
I'd break my heart.
Oh no.
So the point I'm making, put all those factors together, right?
True.
No unconditional love. Like, end of the day, like, no unconditional love.
Be open to it.
You have to be you have to bring value to the table. You know, I saw a TikTok this morning where it was a Jamaican girl, and she literally said, listen, when I met you, I was wearing $100 nails or whatever. So now that I'm with you, I expect to be wearing $150 nails now, not $50 nails, not $50 nails. Meaning, she's saying you're not gonna downgrade me. If anything, you must upgrade me, right? And then I thought, I thought to myself, right? At no point in that, and you know, can she said it in Jamaican, it sounded so raw, right? Yeah, and she's even dissing the man, like she's like I have the clip, but it's too rude to even play, right? And then it's like I'm saying to myself, at no point, at 0 point, as she mentioned nurturing or what she's gonna do or whatever, or what the payoff is gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, end of the day, when you're under siege like that, at the end of the day, I'm not saying the boy child is weak or this or that, but if you're under siege 100% of the time, you wake up in the morning, you're struggling to put food on the table. You wake up, you go to the work, your boss is an asshole, right? Even if you run your own company, your workers are stealing from you. Like,
There's something.
always something. You get into your car, the car
Side
breaks
mirror.
down. You go to fix the wheels, the mechanic tells you need a new radiator.
5 more.
And then when you get home into your space, it's like, so what can you do for me? Why do you think men are so scared to express love?
Dead.
Yo, Ashley, let me ask you something. Are you mad that someone is not accepting your unconditional love?
Yeah.
Why? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Okay, no, I'll tell you this. I am mad because they have made me love them. They have showed me love.
They pointed a gun at you and told you,
listen,
love me.
Listen.
You have to love me.
Love me.
No, listen.
Utanipenda wewe na
They
nini?
have shown me enough love
Wewe
for
mzee.
me to put.
Wewe mzee, utanipenda.
Can we focus? They have shown me enough love for me to be able to let my guard down to love them. Then when I've finally let my guard down to love them, because I'll tell you this, women also have gone through so much trauma.
Yes.
There's so
True.
much
Yes.
shit that women have gone through from the boy child.
Yes.
But we're still able to give those opportunities. We're still
Yeah.
able to let our guards down when we have been shown love.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've given me the opportunity to show you love.
Yeah.
Then when I'm actually showing you love, then you start acting a fool, nigga.
So you withdraw your love.
I'm not withdrawing my love. I'm gonna remove myself from the situation because I'm picking myself.
Then why you
I'm
mad?
choosing myself.
Then why you mad?
Because why the fuck have you made me love you and then you're not gonna love
So
me
he pointed
back?
a gun at. Oh, so it's
fucking love me.
conditional. So it's conditional. Then that's my point. It's not
No.
unconditional.
Point is, it's if we've started something, we're meant to grow together.
No, Ashley.
Unless you don't see anything in the future, then let's make it mutual and make sure that you've informed me of these things beforehand. Tell me, look, we're just fucking. I'm not trying to cuff you. I'm not trying to have babies with you. I'm not like all we're doing is having a good time.
Well,
Yo,
Bet,
wow.
bet, cool.
when I used to be young, I used to be that guy who never. I feel as if sometimes us as men, kukua straightforward ndio shida.
And I think the problem is men don't want to lose women, so they keep them over there. They're like, okay,
Asirosta
sit,
lazima.
sit.
I asked, we have
End the pod.
substitution
End it.
anyway. but
Rotation.
God.
kila mtu lazima.
Oh my goodness.
It's a hard life.
and you know, like,
But
you know,
yeah.
no, but you see, it's very interesting, man, because I just saw, I just thinking about something that I saw where, like, someone's flirting, but the minute someone catches feelings with them, they're like, "Ew, well, let
I think I'm that
Caught
person.
feelings, yeah.
You throw your A-game 3-pointers and then they start telling you, when can we link?
Yeah.
Una adabu.
But Ash, this is the thing. One, if you love unconditionally, then you have to factor in that it might not be reciprocated as you're giving. Like it might not come back the way you're giving it. So you can't be mad when someone is not loving you the way you're loving them. It sets you up for a very big disappointment.
Bro, let me tell you something. That is basically what it is.
Yeah.
People want to be loved the way that they give love.
Yeah, that's one. And the second thing is, what we don't realize is when people are properly loved, they get an opportunity to work on their trauma, right? Because it's going to and there's something I saw. The hardest relationship is not the toxic relationship, it's the healthy relationship after the toxic relationship. Why? Because you have to undo the damage that was done, and then now find yourself at a place where I do not have the baggage that I had to bring into this relationship. This person does not deserve this or that. So what most people do is, when they are loved properly, when they are loved unconditionally, they don't know how to respond to that. It triggers their trauma response.
Fight or flight.
Yeah, so they feel like, nah, it's too good to be true. I have never been treated like this. There's a setup over here. So niggas are gonna get, and allow me to widen the conversation. Women do this so much as well. It's not just niggas. So don't broaden it to us guys. Because I'm sure these guys have been through the same thing.
Yeah.
They've been through women who have fumbled them or treated them a certain way that wasn't the best. And they've found women who've treated them really well. So it's a general conversation. Trauma response and that reciprocity.
Teacher. Or sometimes I realize too late. You know, let me give you this. Maybe I broke up with my shore a week ago, and I've met you at the supermarket in between that week, and our vibes are vibed, and we are taking it to the next level. So as you're giving me love, as I'm realizing you're giving me good love, I'm realizing, damn, where I was, and yeah, for real, I wasn't getting love. So as I'm in this situation of ours, I'm realizing,
there's better out here.
There's better love. But then at the same time, I have trauma. So I'm like, hey, let me hold it off from this love.
Yeah.
I heal first.
Yeah.
And then,
I come back.
Yeah.
Oh my
you know,
God.
so there's situations like that. You see that too, yeah? So sometimes
you can't take it personally. You can't take it personally.
I think
Enough about love?
the easiest way to sum this up is, for every heartbreak a man goes through, he must break at least 4 hearts.
No, the best friends have to fix it.
That's the
and
ratio.
vice versa.
No, but also, like, I've loved the conversation. I think that at the end of the day, like, it is true, and I think the more we get to learn about, you know, learn the person that you're with, and take time to understand where they're coming from, and you know,
communicate.
When men open up.
Actually, you know, not fanya mics are open extra.
When men open up, you know, don't throw it back at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
true,
definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow.
All right.
What a koya! I told you.
Yo, watch out.
I told you. I said on the
Damn it.
radio.
Damn.
I said Kenyans are going to Peter Kenneth Wajakoya.
Yo, they same to the other guy for governor, Igade. Cleaning up
Polycarp.
our toilets. Yes, we like our toilets. Yes, we like our chapatis. But Rudy,
Someone said, damn, we made Sakaja win because of all the TikToks about his
Yes.
dimples. I'm like, bet. Let me tell
the
you.
hype of TikTok.
The only thing we saw was the dimples. No, I'm lying.
But
We saw the vision.
Kenyans will gaslight you, bro.
Is it all official now? Like, is he like? I mean, anyway, if it's official, congratulations, Sakaja, and whoever else has won. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
By the time that we're filming this, we have no idea.
Yeah, we have no
But-
idea. We're just banter.
Yeah.
But also something that I realized that was not common with other elections, just to spice it up a bit, was the conceding. You know, earlier on in the week,
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
hear someone has said, hey, I've just seen the guys
That's
don't
a-
want
yeah.
me no more.
Yeah, let me just
So that
withdraw.
was a new thing
Yeah.
to see and
Concede.
kind of congratulations.
You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good thing to see.
it's a positive thing.
It's a positive.
By the way,
It's a step in the right direction.
big up Fully Focused. We had a really good conversation about this whole election last weekend at this event that we did at Junction. And he said, you know, this is actually a really good opportunity for us to reset the political narrative. Because you know what? is like even at the event, right? I said to him, you know what? The reason the event hasn't jumped off the way, like by 4:00 it was on fire last time. Guys don't even know that they're tense because of this election.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's like even us
like a
guys,
cloud.
even us guys in the industry, it's like we just want this thing to get everyone over and get past it and move
get
and all
done
this
with
stuff.
it.
And we need to get to the point, and I think that we will get there in the next 10 years, where we don't fear elections.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, my barber, not Baba, my
The other one.
messaged me on Monday saying, oh, by the way, and I've just been there on Friday before. It's like, by the way, we're not going to be open until Friday.
Wow,
And
sounds
I'm
like
like,
my
bro,
plug.
like your plug, yeah? Your plug's in Vihiga.
Niko webuye huko ndani. Nitarudi next week. Yo, in the
Lazima nipige
metaverse,
kura.
in the metaverse, yeah.
By the way, let me tell
multiverse
you,
thing.
let me tell you, it's crazy
Yeah.
the amount of people who go up country during this time, right? And like the plugs and the this and the that, like. But the point I'm making is, if you are a barber, or you're a hairdresser, or you wash cars, because even the guy who washes my car at the car wash there, would told me, hey boss, by the way, I'm taking my family up to
up country.
Vihiga, and then I'll leave them there and I'll come back on Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, that's 4 days of people who work in a cash environment. That's 4 days of no cash
Oh, yeah.
because of an election.
Imagine.
Madness, bro.
And that's
Crazy.
why when I saw, I don't know which channel it was that showed an expose of how guys are being paid to be like at rallies.
I think it was
And
Sky.
then they go and change clothes and they go
Yeah.
to the. I was like, if I was in situations that people are
I'd do the
in,
same thing.
I'd do the same thing.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
should I sit at home and
yeah.
nothing when I could go out there, be paid to attend a rally?
To wear a
You know,
t-shirt.
yeah, to wear
Yeah.
a t-shirt
Yeah.
and dance and shout.
There was an interview with a guy in Central, and he was in a bar during the election, and he was like, see, if these guys want my vote, they should come and pay me.
That's the energy.
Straight up, yeah.
Come and pay me.
You know what I mean? For real. Anyway, any open mic before you bounce, because time I run.
Yes, yes.
Tamaran.
Do we have anyone on lockdown?
Lockdown. Oh, so there's no lockdown this week because we had to close the studio because of the election. Wake Up Call is back this weekend.
Yeah.
9 till 10. It's just us, and watch some of the old mixes, but don't forget to also watch the Premier League stuff that's happening on the channel.
Oh damn! I was so happy. There are 100,000 manze. Thank you very
by
much.
the way, you weren't here.
I wasn't here, so let's continue. 200k looks good too.
I have an update for y'all. Let
Yes,
me see.
as G's
As you're
looking
getting
for
the
it.
update?
Yes,
Okay,
the
cool.
bottle.
Telepathy game.
But I
Yes,
know.
this bottle came in handy this
Get up.
weekend.
Hey, let me tell you.
The
Nobody
bottle
gotta
comes
know
in-
about
nobody
that,
gotta
okay?
know,
This is
nobody
for water,
gotta know.
okay? It's for water.
So-
Buy our bottles. www.themikes.open.
At
Podcast,
24
yeah.
minutes past midnight this morning, I received an email, and it says, your package is on the way. And it's a message from YouTube saying that the package has been given to UPS worldwide. It's been expedited.
Hey,
and should-
expeditiously.
and it should arrive here at the Good Company Studios any day now.
Sounds like my sneaky
100K
link.
plus.
Wow.
looking
Oh
nice.
my God, wrap
I'll
it
be there
up.
anytime now.
Remember, we had promised that we'd finish the studio. We're not quite finished yet. We still got to fix the curtains and
Elections
stuff.
bana.
It's elections.
Bana. Siwelewe. Kwani nini? Elections after.
This has been the mics are open.
Oh,
man.
wait,
Wait,
you're not
open
taking
mic,
open-
bro.
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Damn.
Too.
My bad.
Wagon guys, been a minute. Would you pay someone to process your negative emotions for you? And then Nev Arudi bana, like Nev should be back on the pod.
Oh, me here.
Yeah. Interestingly, I was having this conversation on air today, and it was on the basis of Rick Ross is looking for someone who is going to feed his lion cubs once they arrived to the promised land. And I went back thinking about some of the oddest jobs I've had in the game, like Quavo getting someone to hold an umbrella for him 24/7 when he's outside.
Right.
Was it Tory Lanez who wanted someone to just roll his weed for him
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's too much Snoop? Yeah. So I got to thinking, damn, sometimes when you get some kind of money, there's some things you do for yourself and you're like, I don't need to do this for myself anymore. I can pay someone to do this for me. But then I thought about it a little bit more. On the Chop Shop pod, we call something like that, like a high thought. You know, like, what if I could pay someone to process all the negative emotions for me that I don't need to process?
So you just feel happy and they would understand this.
Yes, so you pay someone to feel that heartbreak that the baby's, taking you through.
Thank you. Also, your life won't be as exciting. You need a little some job.
I don't want to sound contrarian, but I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And the reason I wouldn't do that is because I think some of my greatest moments of creativity have been when I'm been down in the valley.
Yep.
You need the downs.
To be, there's.
Yeah, I just feel it's just not been advertised yet.
It's somewhere in the works.
YouTube video or a TikTok. Gee, you're in. Process this heartbreak.
Speaking of TikTok, so I want to talk about TikTok before we speak about TikTok, right? I don't understand TikTok. So I put out a video on TikTok 2 weeks ago, right? Okay. And it got like 20,000 views, and I was like, yes, I'm in. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a similar video,
follow up,
put it out. Bruh, it's like
2 views.
It means that way. What happens?
You gotta keep them interested.
Let me ask you. I think the best way to go about TikTok is one. What do you like watching on TikTok?
Yeah.
I don't watch TikTok.
Exactly. So if you don't watch TikTok, then you don't know guys are watching or guys are onto on TikTok.
Things like that wiggle walk thing.
Yeah, now you see that, it's stupid.
The Kulosa challenge.
No, it is?
Yeah. No, you can do the Kulosa challenge.
Kulosa.
Yeah. It's a dance thing. It's a dance. It's time to get into that dancing bag.
Can we do it before we leave the studio?
Okay.
I'll record. Yes, we can do it.
I'm the one suggesting the moves.
The boys need to be involved, okay?
We inside.
No, you're the only women's rep over here.
And you've been re-elected unopposed.
Yeah, unopposed. Ipite.
All right, listen. It's been the mics are open. My name's Chimani.
Andy Young.
Ashley.
Neville.
Bless upon yourself. Boom.
Adios.
Lit.
Oh, by the way,